One of the biggest misconceptions out there, especially as men start to age, is that their attractiveness somehow goes downhill. That's just not true. If you take care of yourself, if you live with purpose, and you keep leveling up as you get older, your attractiveness actually increases. Women notice it. People respect it. And deep down, you feel it. Confidence is the foundation of masculine attractiveness. It's not about walking into a room and being the loudest guy or trying to dominate the spotlight. Real confidence is quiet. It's subtle. It's the energy you carry that says, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. And I don't need anyone's validation to feel worthy. When you reach that point in your life as an older man, when your sense of self isn't tied to whether or not someone likes you, that's when people can't help but notice you. Women especially feel it because confidence communicates strength and certainty. Now here's the thing, confidence doesn't just show up one day. It's something you build through experiences. You earn it by going through challenges, by facing setbacks, by learning from your mistakes. An older man who's attractive has already been through his share of storms. He's faced rejection, heartbreak, career failures, personal losses, and he's still standing. That resilience shows up in the way he carries himself. He doesn't flinch at small problems because he's been tested before. That unshakable calm tells everyone around him this man is solid. A younger guy might try to prove himself by bragging, showing off, or constantly seeking approval. But an attractive older man doesn't need to do any of that. His confidence is expressed in simplicity. It's in the way he makes eye contact. It's in the relaxed posture of his body. It's in the way he speaks, clear, direct, without hesitation. He doesn't rush to fill silence because he's comfortable just being present. That kind of confidence radiates far louder than words ever could. Women can sense it within seconds of meeting you. Another layer of confidence is authenticity. When you're younger, it's easy to fall into the trap of playing roles, of trying to be the guy you think women want. But as you get older and wiser, you realize that pretending is exhausting. You realize the most powerful thing you can be is yourself. Attractive older men own their quirks. They own their flaws, they don't hide their scars. They wear them as proof that they've lived, that they've learned, and that they've grown. That radical authenticity is deeply attractive because it communicates honesty and courage. Confidence also shows up in how you handle rejection. An insecure man takes rejection personally. He feels crushed, he questions his worth. But a confident older man, he understands that rejection is not about him, it's about compatibility. If a woman isn't interested, he doesn't chase, he doesn't beg, he doesn't pout. He smiles, he wishes her well, and he moves on. That lightness, that lack of neediness tells women, this man values himself. He doesn't need me to complete him. He's already whole, and ironically, that's what often makes them want him even more. Another aspect that can't be ignored is body language. You can say all the right words, but if your body communicates insecurity, people will pick up on it instantly. Confident men stand tall. They move with intention. They don't fidget nervously or shrink themselves to take up less space. They're relaxed but alert. They look comfortable wherever they are, whether it's at a business meeting, a dinner date, or just walking down the street. And because they look comfortable, everyone around them feels more comfortable too. That's influence. That's power. Finally, confidence is not arrogance. That's an important distinction. Arrogance is fragile. It's a mask covering insecurity. Confidence, on the other hand, is grounded in reality. It doesn't need to put others down to feel strong. It lifts others up. A confident older man can laugh at himself. He can admit when he's wrong, and he doesn't feel threatened by the success of others. That humility combined with strength is the perfect balance. And it's exactly what makes confidence one of the most powerful and attractive traits a man can develop as he grows older. Emotional control is one of the clearest signs that you're a very attractive older man. It's the ability to stay calm under pressure, to keep your composure when life throws challenges your way, and to respond instead of react. Women notice this immediately. They feel it when they're around you. A man who has emotional control communicates strength, leadership, and security without even having to say a word. You see, women don't want to feel like they're babysitting a man's emotions. They want to feel safe, they want to feel grounded, and they want to feel like they can relax into your masculine presence. That's why emotional control is magnetic. Now, the truth is, emotional control doesn't come from living an easy life. It comes from going through hard times. It comes from pain, heartbreak, failure, betrayal, disappointment. It's earned. A younger man often reacts impulsively because he hasn't had the life experience yet. He gets angry, he panics, he overthinks, he spirals when something goes wrong. But the older, attractive man has lived long enough to see that most problems are temporary. He knows that even the worst storms eventually pass. So instead of overreacting, he pauses, he observes, he takes a deep breath, and he chooses his response carefully. That's wisdom. That's maturity. Think about it. How many men do you know who lose their temper over small things? Traffic, a rude comment, a little setback at work? That's insecurity in disguise. It shows they're still controlled by their emotions instead of being in control of them. But the attractive older man, he doesn't sweat the small stuff. He understands that his energy is valuable, and he doesn't waste it on nonsense. When a woman sees that you can stay calm in situations where most men would explode or fall apart, she immediately respects you. She feels like you're dependable. And that feeling of dependability, that's one of the strongest triggers of attraction. Emotional control also means not being swayed by a woman's moods. Women test men emotionally all the time, often without even realizing it. They'll throw out a little drama, they'll push a button, they'll create a situation just to see how you handle it. An insecure man reacts, he gets defensive, he argues, he sulks. But a confident, emotionally controlled older man, he stays centered, he doesn't get thrown off by women's emotions. Instead, he remains calm, playful, lighthearted. That shows her, I'm the rock in this relationship. I'm not going to crumble just because you're upset. And that makes her feel safe to open up and trust you even more. Another layer to emotional control is the ability to regulate your own internal world. Life isn't just about what happens to you. It's about how you interpret what happens. The attractive older man trains his mind to see opportunity where others see obstacles. He chooses gratitude over bitterness. He chooses patience over frustration. He chooses solutions over complaints. That mindset makes him magnetic because people want to be around someone who elevates them, not someone who drags them down with negativity. Women especially are drawn to men who radiate emotional stability because it feels rare, it feels valuable, and it feels trustworthy. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It doesn't mean acting like a robot. In fact, suppressing emotions is unhealthy and weakens you over time. True emotional control is about expression with mastery. It's about being able to say what you feel in a clear, respectful, and grounded way. If you're angry, you don't lash out. You communicate assertively. If you're sad, you don't collapse. You share openly without needing someone else to fix you. That balance, strength with vulnerability, makes you powerful. It makes you human, but also reliable. Women see that and think, this is a man who knows himself. He's not controlled by his emotions, he controls them. And finally, emotional control is freedom. When you're no longer enslaved by your emotions, when you're no longer at the mercy of every little trigger, you become unshakable. That's when people trust you with leadership. That's when women lean into your presence. That's when you become the calm in the storm that everyone else gravitates toward. It's not just about being attractive to women. It's about being respected as a man. Emotional control is the quiet superpower that separates the boys from the men and the men from the leaders. It's the difference between chaos and mastery, and it's one of the clearest signs that you're a truly attractive older man. One of the clearest signs that you're a very attractive older man is that you're living with purpose and passion. You see, a man without purpose drifts. He's easily distracted, easily manipulated, and easily lost. But a man with purpose, he's unstoppable. He wakes up every day with a fire inside him. He knows where he's going, he knows what he's working toward, and he's not afraid of the challenges along the way. Women find that irresistible because deep down, they don't want a man who revolves around them. They want a man who's going somewhere, who's building something, and who invites them along for the adventure. That sense of direction is incredibly attractive. Purpose isn't about impressing people or chasing validation. It's not about looking successful on the outside while feeling empty on the inside. Real purpose comes from within. It's that deep inner calling that tells you, this is what I'm here to do. For some men, it's building a business. For others, it's mastering a craft, creating art, mentoring others, or leaving a legacy for their family. The attractive older man knows his mission, and he organizes his life around it. That clarity makes him magnetic, because people can sense when someone is driven by something bigger than themselves. Now, passion is what gives that purpose its energy. Passion is the fuel. It's the spark in your eyes when you talk about your work. It's the excitement in your voice when you're sharing your vision. It's the determination that pushes you through the late nights, the setbacks, and the moments of doubt. Passion makes you unstoppable. And here's the truth. When a woman sees a man living with passion, it lights her up. She feels that energy. She admires it. And she wants to be close to it. Because passion is contagious. It's inspiring. It awakens something inside her too. An older man who is attractive doesn't just live for comfort. He's not spending his days drifting, watching television, and letting life pass him by. He's striving, he's building, he's creating, he's alive. Women notice when a man has that hunger in his soul. It separates him from the masses. Most men lose their spark as they get older. They settle, they give up, they stop dreaming. But the attractive older man keeps leveling up. He still has goals. He still has that glint in his eye that says, I'm just getting started. That drive is intoxicating. Purpose also gives a man resilience. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, you can endure almost anything. The road to success is never smooth. It's filled with failures, disappointments, and obstacles. But an attractive older man doesn't quit when things get hard. He pushes forward. He adapts, he learns. He keeps his mission alive no matter what. That persistence is deeply masculine. It shows strength. And women feel safe around a man who refuses to fold under pressure. Because if you can stay true to your purpose, she knows you'll also stay true when life tests your relationship. Living with purpose and passion also keeps you youthful. It keeps your energy high. You see, a man who has no mission quickly becomes stagnant, and stagnation leads to decay, mentally, physically, emotionally. But a man who's fired up about his work, about his goals, about his dreams, he radiates vitality. It doesn't matter if you've got gray hair. It doesn't matter if you've got wrinkles. What matters is that your spirit is alive. That fire in your soul makes you appear younger, stronger, and more magnetic than men half your age who've already given up. And finally, women can instantly tell the difference between a man who has purpose and one who doesn't. The man without purpose clings to her. He makes her the center of his world because he has nothing else driving him. That feels suffocating. But the man with purpose, he loves her, he cherishes her, but he doesn't need her to fill a void in his life. He's already fulfilled because of his mission. She becomes the icing on the cake, not the cake itself. So that's why women are drawn to older men with purpose and passion, because it makes them feel like they're stepping into a life that's already meaningful, already exciting, already full of direction. And that, more than anything else, is what makes you incredibly attractive as you grow older. Style and presentation are powerful signals of attractiveness. The truth is, people judge you the moment you walk into a room, before you've said a single word. Your clothes, your grooming, your posture, your overall presentation, they all communicate something about who you are and how you value yourself. An attractive older man understands this. He doesn't try to dress like a 20-year-old kid. He embraces his age, his maturity, his masculinity. His style reflects refinement. It reflects confidence. It reflects a man who knows exactly who he is. Now here's the reality. Style doesn't mean expensive. It doesn't mean designer labels, flashy logos, or trying to prove your worth through your clothes. Real style is about fit, cleanliness, and simplicity. A well-fitted shirt, tailored pants, polished shoes, a crisp jacket that communicates far more power than the most expensive gaudy outfit. When your clothes fit your body properly, when your look is clean and intentional, it tells the world, I care about myself, I respect myself, and I have standards. That message is extremely attractive, especially as you get older. Grooming is another critical part of presentation. You can be in great shape, you can have confidence, but if your grooming is sloppy, it undercuts everything. Attractive older men pay attention to the details. The haircut is sharp, the beard, if you have one, is trimmed and intentional, not wild and unkempt. Nails are clean. Skin is taken care of. Even your scent, your choice of cologne, creates a lasting impression. Women notice all of it. They pay attention to the small things. And when a man is well groomed, it sends the signal that he takes care of himself. That's sexy because it shows discipline, self-respect, and maturity. Another layer of presentation is posture and body language. You can have the best suit in the world, but if you're slouching, fidgeting, or looking down at the ground, your presentation collapses. Attractive older men carry themselves with presence. Shoulders back, chest open, chin up, relaxed but grounded stance. They move with intention. They don't rush nervously. They don't shuffle awkwardly. They walk into a room with calm authority, and people can feel it instantly. That body language communicates confidence, leadership, and self-assurance before you even speak. Style also includes your overall health and physical fitness. You don't need to look like a professional bodybuilder, but staying in shape, maintaining muscle, keeping your body strong, that is part of your presentation. A man who lets himself go physically is silently communicating that he doesn't care about himself anymore. But the attractive older man refuses to do that. He values discipline. He values health. He wants to feel strong, energetic, and alive. When you're in good shape, your clothes fit better, your posture improves, your energy is higher, and all of that makes you look 10 times more attractive, regardless of your age. Your environment and lifestyle presentation also matter. An attractive older man pays attention to the spaces he inhabits. His home is clean, organized, intentional, not a cluttered mess. His car is well kept, not falling apart. The way you present your surroundings reflects how you present yourself. Women notice this immediately. If she walks into your home and it feels masculine, stylish, and comfortable, she gets a subconscious message. This man has his life together. He's not just surviving, he's thriving. That kind of presentation reinforces everything else about your attractiveness. Finally, style and presentation come down to consistency. It's not about dressing sharp once in a while or cleaning up only when you're going on a date. It's about making it who you are. Every day, your presentation should reflect the man you aspire to be. Because here's the truth, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. And when your style and presentation align with strength, discipline, maturity, and confidence, women can't help but feel drawn to you. You stand out without trying, simply because you carry yourself like a man who values himself. That, more than anything else, is what makes style and presentation such a powerful sign of an attractive older man. Financial stability is one of the clearest signs that you're a very attractive older man. Doesn't mean you have to be a billionaire, It doesn't mean you have to live in a mansion or drive a supercar. What it means is that you've built a life of stability, security, and abundance. You've put in the years of work. You've learned how to manage money, you've built assets, and you've created a lifestyle where you don't have to stress about every bill. That level of financial maturity is magnetic because it shows women and the world that you're responsible, disciplined, and capable of creating value. Here's the reality. Women aren't drawn to money itself. They're drawn to what money represents. It represents security, stability options, and freedom. An attractive older man doesn't flash his wealth. He doesn't brag about what he owns. Instead, his financial stability shows quietly in the way he lives. He takes her to dinner without flinching at the check. He travels when he wants to. He invests in himself. His life feels abundant, not scarce. And when a woman feels that abundance around you, it makes her relax, it makes her trust, and it makes her deeply attracted to your masculine leadership. Now, financial stability is not just about having money, it's about how you earned it. Attractive older men know the value of hard work, discipline, and consistency. They've gone through times of struggle, they've made sacrifices, and they've built themselves up through persistence. That story, that journey, adds depth to your attractiveness. Because you didn't just stumble into wealth, you earned it, you faced challenges, you learned from failures, you adapted, and you grew stronger. That resilience is sexy because it shows a woman that you're not just stable financially, you're stable emotionally and mentally too. Another key piece is independence. A man who is financially stable doesn't need anyone to take care of him. He doesn't need to depend on family, friends, or women to pay his bills. He can stand on his own 2 feet. That independence is one of the most attractive qualities a man can have. It sends a powerful message. I can take care of myself, and I can also take care of the people I love. Women feel safe around that kind of man because they know he's not looking for a relationship out of desperation or need. He chooses relationships from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Financial stability also gives you freedom. Freedom to choose the life you want. Freedom to say no to jobs, opportunities, or people that don't align with your values. Freedom to invest in your passions, your hobbies, your health, and your lifestyle. That freedom creates an energy of ease around you. You're not stressed about survival, you're focused on living. And women pick up on that energy immediately. They can feel when a man is free, when he's not weighed down by financial chaos. That freedom makes you magnetic because it shows you're in control of your life. Your financial stability also impacts your presentation. The clothes you wear, the places you go, the way you maintain your home, the experiences you offer, all of it communicates something about your financial health. When a woman sees that you live in a clean, well-kept space, that you invest in quality instead of cheap quick fixes, and that you make choices with intention, she gets the message. This man is solid. He's built a life of substance. That doesn't mean extravagance. It means quality. It means you live with standards, and those standards spill over into every area of your life. And finally, financial stability shows that you're a man of vision. You're not just living paycheck to paycheck, reacting to life. You're thinking long-term. You're planning. You're building for the future. That kind of foresight separates boys from men. Women are naturally drawn to men who think ahead, who prepare, who create security not just for themselves, but for the life they're building. That vision is incredibly attractive. It says, I'm not only living well today, I'm building something even greater for tomorrow. And that's why financial stability is one of the most powerful, undeniable signs that you're a very attractive older man. Social intelligence is one of the most underrated but powerful signs that you're a very attractive older man. It's not just about what you know, it's about how you connect with people. It's the ability to read a room, to understand body language, to sense the mood, and to respond in a way that puts others at ease. Attractive older men have mastered this skill because they've lived through enough experiences to know how people operate. They've been in boardrooms, in relationships, in conflicts, and in celebrations. They've observed, they've learned, and they've sharpened their awareness. That's why when they speak, people listen. And when they listen, people feel understood. At its core, social intelligence is about empathy. It's about being able to step into someone else's perspective, even if just for a moment. An attractive older man doesn't bulldoze through conversations just to prove how smart he is. He listens. He notices tone, facial expressions, subtle shifts in body language. And because he pays attention, he responds in a way that makes people feel heard and valued. That's rare. Most men only wait for their turn to talk. But the man with social intelligence connects deeply, and that connection is magnetic. Women especially are drawn to men who make them feel understood because it shows emotional maturity and strength. Another layer of social intelligence is charisma. Charisma isn't about being the loudest or funniest guy in the room. It's about making others feel good when they're around you. Attractive older men have a natural charm that comes from confidence and ease. They don't try too hard, they don't force jokes. Instead, they bring lightness, humor, and authenticity into every interaction. They know how to tease playfully without being cruel, how to compliment without sounding fake, and how to make even strangers feel comfortable. That social ease is irresistible because it signals leadership and confidence without arrogance. Social intelligence also shows up in the way you handle conflict. Life is full of disagreements at work and relationships with friends. An insecure man gets defensive, raises his voice, and escalates the situation. But an attractive older man, he knows how to stay calm, how to de-escalate, and how to find common ground. He doesn't need to win every argument to feel strong. Instead, he seeks solutions. He communicates assertively but respectfully. That ability to handle conflict with maturity makes people trust him. And women, in particular, feel safe around a man who won't lose control when things get tough. Another sign of social intelligence is knowing when to lead and when to follow. Attractive older men understand that leadership isn't about controlling people, it's about guiding them. But they also know when to step back and let others shine. That flexibility makes them magnetic because it shows humility. It shows they're confident enough in themselves that they don't need constant attention. Women notice this balance instantly. A man who knows how to lead with strength but also share space with others radiates maturity and presence. Social intelligence also includes knowing how to influence others without manipulation. Attractive older men don't resort to games, lies, or tricks. They influence by example. They live in a way that inspires respect. They communicate directly and authentically. And because they carry themselves with integrity, people naturally want to follow them, help them, and be part of their world. Women find this deeply attractive because it shows power without cruelty, strength without deception. It shows a man who can get what he wants while still treating others with dignity. Finally, social intelligence is about adaptability. An attractive older man can move seamlessly from a business meeting to a casual dinner, from a formal event to a playful conversation with friends. He knows how to switch gears, adjust his tone, and connect with people from all walks of life. That versatility is extremely attractive because it shows competence. It shows that wherever he goes, he can handle himself with ease. Women love a man who can introduce her to anyone, navigate any setting, and make her feel comfortable the entire time. That adaptability is the mark of true social mastery, and it's one of the most powerful signs that you're a very attractive older man. Healthy masculinity is one of the most powerful and undeniable signs that you're a very attractive older man. It's the balance between strength and compassion. It's between leadership and humility, between being tough when it's required and soft when it matters. A lot of men either swing too far into toxic masculinity, where they're domineering, controlling, and aggressive, or they swing the other way into weakness, where they're passive, overly accommodating, and afraid to lead. But the attractive older man has learned through experience that true masculinity is not about extremes, it's about balance. That balance makes him magnetic, respected, and deeply desired. Healthy masculinity starts with strength. Physical strength, emotional strength, mental strength. An attractive older man doesn't collapse when life gets tough. He doesn't run from responsibility. He faces challenges head on. He takes ownership of his actions, his mistakes, and his outcomes. That accountability is rare and it's powerful. Women are drawn to a man who can stand firm, who can handle pressure, and who doesn't crumble when tested. That strength doesn't mean being rigid or cold. It means being reliable. It means being the rock that others can lean on when life feels overwhelming. But strength alone isn't enough. Healthy masculinity also includes kindness. An attractive older man doesn't need to put others down to feel powerful. He doesn't use his strength to dominate. He uses it to protect, to uplift, to encourage. He treats people with respect, whether they can offer him something or not. He's firm when he needs to be, but he's also fair. That kindness, paired with strength, is irresistible because it shows depth. It shows that he's not a one-dimensional tough guy. He's a complete man who knows how to lead with both power and heart. Another piece of healthy masculinity is leadership. An attractive older man leads by example. He doesn't bark orders, he doesn't demand respect, he earns it. He sets the tone through his actions, his discipline, his consistency. In relationships, he knows how to guide without controlling. He makes decisions with clarity, but he also listens. He includes his partner, he values her input, but he's not afraid to take responsibility for direction. Women love this because it makes them feel safe. They don't want a man who's indecisive and weak, nor do they want a tyrant. They want a man who can lead with confidence while still respecting them as equals. Healthy masculinity also shows up in emotional expression. An attractive older man doesn't bottle up every feeling, nor does he spill his emotions everywhere in a way that makes others feel burdened. Instead, he's balanced. If he's upset, he can communicate clearly and assertively without losing control. If he's happy, he can celebrate without ego. If he's hurt, he can express vulnerability without shame. That balance makes him incredibly attractive because women crave men who are strong but also human, men who feel deeply but aren't ruled by their feelings. That mix of emotional depth and control is rare, and it sets older, attractive men apart. Another layer of healthy masculinity is boundaries. An attractive older man doesn't tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or chaos in his life. He sets clear standards for how he will be treated, and he enforces those standards without drama. He doesn't need to raise his voice. His actions speak for him. That self-respect communicates massive value. Because when a man respects himself enough to set boundaries, women respect him more too. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. They protect your energy, your time, and your purpose. And a man who can protect those things shows that he's strong, disciplined, and worthy of admiration. Finally, healthy masculinity is about growth. An attractive older man doesn't get stuck in outdated ways of thinking. He continues to learn, to evolve, to refine himself. He knows masculinity is not about being perfect. It's about progress. He's strong enough to admit when he's wrong, wise enough to learn new perspectives, and confident enough to adapt without losing his core. That constant growth makes him magnetic because it shows he's not finished. He's becoming more powerful, more refined, and more attractive with time. Women see this and think, this man isn't stuck in the past. He's still leveling up. He's still becoming the best version of himself. And that, more than anything else, defines the essence of healthy masculinity.